Tonight I'm going to be making a trim healthy mama meal called Cheeseburger Pie. This just sounded so good, and believe it or not, I've never had it. So as many of the meals as I have made on Trim Healthy Mama, this is one I've never made before. So let's get cooking. So we're going to start off by cooking up some ground beef, and I'm going to get this all cooked up. Now this recipe calls for onion powder, and I realized when I unpacked everything that I forgot all my seasonings. Can you believe that? So I'm going to be using some flaked onion. Now if you have some onion soup mix, you can go ahead and use that. I'm going to put about a teaspoon in there. Now this is just a half of a recipe. We're going to be making this for 6 servings. You can make it for 12 if you want to double it, but this is how we're going to do it tonight. I'm also going to add a small amount of salt and get this all cooked up. So what we did was we put the ground beef on the bottom. I put about 3 ounces of cheese over the top, and I also put a little bit of onion over the top as well. I've added 1/4 cup of cream, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I'm going to give that a little stir. Add 1 egg. I'm going to put some salt and pepper in this. All right, then we're going to go ahead and pour that right over our casserole. Just like this. We are going to be adding a little bit of dill pickle to this. Maybe 2 or 3 of these. I think I'm going to add 1 more because I love pickles. Now we're going to add the rest of our cheese, about 3 ounces more, of a little bit more cheese. And we're going to put this in the oven just like it is. And I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we're going to make our cheeseburger as soon as our pie is done. So while I'm in the process of cooking my cheeseburger casserole, it's going to take about 30 minutes. So I'm going to check it at about 4:30. And as soon as it's done, I'll show you how it came out. My husband won't be home for a while, so I made it ahead of time. I also want to make a nice, delicious dessert. Now, I thought of this kind of at the last minute, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a little trick I do when I make pudding too late. So I thought it might be fun to make some vanilla pudding. I'm going to show you a really neat trick to help you thicken up your pudding. I thought I'd make that with some strawberries tonight. Now this is a sugar-free instant pudding. I am going to be making it with whole milk. And since I've got you here, I want to show you something that I received in the mail. Now this was a gift that I received by being an affiliate of QVC. This is a Cuisinart mixer. And boy, did I ever need it, because mine's packed away in storage. So this is going to help me out so much over the next few months. So I thought this was so neat. It came in its own little carrying case. So the little whisks and things are down below. And when you pull this out of its little case, at first I thought, oh, that won't hold anything. But all you have to do is kind of bend this open, and off you have your little mixer. Isn't this cute? I just love the color. I love everything about it. So let me go ahead and get this plugged in, and I'm going to show you how this works. So you just lift up the little tab and take out the cord. I'm going to plug it in for you, and we're going to get to cooking. It came with 2 little you know, whisk to make like cake batter and things like that. It also came with a whisk that I can make the pudding with. So let me show you how I do it. So for this pudding, I'm going to be adding 2 cups of cold whole milk. Now, if you wanted to make it lighter, you could do, you know, skim milk or, you know, whatever you like to use, low-fat milk. For me, I like to use the whole milk. It really doesn't matter because I am doing an S meal tonight. So I am having a little bit more fat with my meal. So the whole milk is just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just open up this hard to open container. And I'm just gonna pour out 2 cups of milk. So I'm a little short. I'm gonna add a little bit of almond milk to that. And don't worry, even mixing the milk with the almond milk, it's gonna come out just fine. So let me add, it's like another, maybe 1/4 of a cup. It's not very much. So there I've got 2 cups. I'm gonna add the milk to my bowl along with the pudding mix. Now I didn't bring a huge assortment of bowls, so unfortunately this is probably gonna make somewhat of a mess, but this is just the way it goes sometimes. I'm just gonna put the 1 attachment in because all I need is the whisk, and then all we're gonna do is just turn it on. I'm gonna go low so I can get started. It's got a little button here that you push to go fast and slow. This is the slow mode. I wanna mix up the pudding before I get it going fast. And this box recipe says to do this for 2 minutes. That's one of the things I love about this mixer. You know how a lot of times you put your hand mixer down and it's wobbling all over? This has got a nice flat base. It just sits right on your counter. It's wonderful. And you can see already, I mean, really, I don't know if I really need to do my hack, but since I told you I was doing it, I guess I will. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I make the thickest pudding when I only have like an hour. So I'm not gonna need to do that. It's gonna be overkill, but let me tell you what I do. I just put a lid on this and I throw it in the freezer for 30 to 60 minutes and you have a nice, delicious pudding. And when it's time to put it away, now I have another little whisk to add to this when it's dry, but all you're gonna do is put this back in the box and it seals itself. It's just so cute. I love this thing. So if you have never shopped at QVC or HSN, you might want to check this one out as a way to try them out. I got this extremely quickly. They contacted me and asked if they could send a few things. This was something I was really interested in and it works great. I really love it. I'm going to put a link right below, so if you're interested, give it a try. Now I am going to serve this with some strawberries. Now I had bought these strawberries with another box and I've tried to eat them up as quickly as possible, but this one didn't make it. So I'm going to show you how I clean my strawberries and make them last a few more days. Of course, the first thing you want to do is give them a good wash. We're going to check out the good ones. And then we're going to discard any that look soft or unappealing. So I'm going to cut the ones that I want for dinner. I'll do those first. All right, so I'm going to set these aside for dinner. And then what I do is I put another paper towel down to kind of absorb any water. All right, now all I'm going to do is take these tops off. And any spots that I think are going to affect my strawberries spoiling faster. All right, we lost a few, but I'll tell you what, I ended up having more than I thought I was going to. So I'm just going to set these aside in the refrigerator till I'm ready to use them, either tomorrow or the next day at the latest. I'm going to be serving the cheeseburger pie with some green beans tonight. And I'm going to add a little bit of butter to that. Now I'm completely out of all of my home canned green beans from last summer. I have tons of them growing at my other house, but we're gonna be dealing with canned beans now till next summer. So I just wanted to make a note on the pudding, the sugar-free pudding. This is gonna be 70 calories per serving with the milk. So this one comes with 4 servings per container, so we can each have a fourth of that pudding, which made a lot. And then I'm gonna put strawberries over the top of it, and we're gonna have that for some dessert tonight. That just sounded really good to me. And even the carbs aren't too high, 14 grams of carbohydrate per serving. And this is gonna be a really delicious dinner between the dessert and the cheeseburger pie and the green beans. It's gonna be delicious. So next time I see you, we're gonna be putting our meal together. Wait until you see how this came out. We are talking good. Oh my goodness. Really? I wish you could smell my kitchen. It smells just like a cheeseburger. You know what it is? I think it's these pickles. Holy smokes, that smells good. All right, so I'm gonna spoon some of this up and I'll show you how I'm gonna serve it. So believe it or not, we can each have a third of this. Holy cow, that's so much food. Okay, it says to serve it just like a cheeseburger. So I'm gonna put a little bit of mustard on mine. A little bit of mustard. A little bit of ketchup. I'm gonna put a little bit more pepper on mine. And a little bit more of these onions. I'll leave him some. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is a little bit of this arugula. So even though I told you I wasn't gonna put my pudding in the freezer, I decided to do that just because I wanted to show you how much thicker it comes out when you do that in a hurry. So look at this. Look at that. It's perfect. All right, so I think I told you this made how many servings? 4 servings. So we're gonna try to make this as even as possible. We're gonna add half of the strawberries to each of these. Then I'm gonna add some beans. So that's mine. I'm gonna save the rest for him. What do you think? Does this look good or does this look good? Well, I don't know if you know, so I'm gonna test it out for you. All right, let's see if it's as good as I told you it was gonna be. Because I haven't had this before, but the smell is just amazing, and it's such a large amount of food that you get. Holy cannoli. All right, we're gonna try the cheeseburger pie first. How good that looks. Okay, you're not gonna believe this. This tastes just like a cheeseburger. This is my new favorite. I am gonna be making this once a week. It's so good. Oh my gosh. You gotta make this. I'm gonna put the recipe below. I hope you'll give it a try. I'm gonna save the pudding till I'm done with this. I don't want to destroy the cheeseburger flavor. I don't get a lot of cheeseburgers anymore, so this is great. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.